Ade, a young, ambitious Nigerian man, fell deeply in love with Ijeoma, a beautiful and humble woman from a small village. Against the concerns of some of his friends, he followed his heart, married her, and brought her with him to the city to start their life together. Their marriage blossomed and they welcomed twins, a boy and a girl, 3 years after their wedding, wanting to support his wife's ambition. Ade financed Ijeoma's training in the fabric business. She quickly picked up the trade, and when her training was complete, Ade helped her open a small shop. The business flourished under Ijeoma's hard work and Ade's unwavering support. Soon enough, Ade was able to open a factory for her, and her business grew beyond their dreams. For years, the couple lived comfortably in a modest three-bedroom apartment, but as the business thrived, Ijeoma suggested they move to a more spacious duplex in a serene, upscale estate. She felt they had outgrown the three-bedroom flat, and with a bit of persuasion, Ade agreed. Ijeoma recommended a particular duplex, and Ade trusted her judgment. He paid the rent for 2 years. He paid the rent with total of 15.2 million, including agency fee and other charges. The couple settled into their new home, grateful for the life they were building together. Years passed peacefully until the fourth year when Ade paid an increased rent of 9 million naira. One evening, while Ijeoma was in the shower, an alert popped up on her phone, which she had left on the bed. Ade, lying nearby, happened to see the message: 8.7 million received. Rent was paid this morning. Firm charges deducted. This message struck him as odd, as he had just paid their rent that same morning. When Ijeoma emerged from the bathroom, she quickly took her phone, her expression tense, as if expecting Ade to ask her about the message. But he said nothing, leaving her in a mix of relief and suspicion. The following day at breakfast, Ijeoma glanced nervously at Ade, unsure if he had seen the message. From that day on, her behavior changed. She became distant, constantly wary around him, and it wasn't long before Ade sensed that something was wrong. A few weeks later, Ade suggested that their home be fumigated and proposed they stay at a nearby hotel for 3 days. On the last day of their stay, he told Ijeoma he would go to the house early to supervise the cleaners. Once home, he started to organize their belongings and decided to gather important documents for safekeeping. That's when he found a brown envelope labeled land papers. tucked away in their bedroom closets. Curious, he opened the envelope and scanned the document. His eyes widened as he read the details. The address on the property was their current residence. Shocked, he realized the property he had been paying rent for was actually owned by his wife. The documents even mentioned an adjacent duplex 2 buildings away, indicating that she owned multiple properties in the estate. A mix of anger and betrayal flooded him. He had supported her every step of the way, and yet she had hidden this from him, going so far as to let him unknowingly parent on her own property. Feeling hurt and betrayed, he gathered the documents and awaited her return. That evening, after dinner, Ade brought up the documents in their bedroom. Ijeoma, these land papers, I don't understand. This address is the house we are living in. I know the properties I bought, but this one doesn't make sense. Could you explain? Ijeoma's face paled. She stammered, her voice barely a whisper. I am sorry, Ade. I didn't think it would be like this. I wanted to invest my earnings, so I bought this duplex and the one down the street. When it was ready, I suggested we move in here. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean any harm. Ade's voice grew cold. You didn't mean any harm? You let me pay rent on a house you own, kept this a secret, and now you're saying it's no big deal. He shook his head in disbelief. I trusted you. I've been open with you from the start. I've done everything to support our family, and you let me pay millions in rent on a property you own. I'm scared of what else you are hiding. With that, he grabbed his car keys and left the house. Ijeoma, shaking, called her mother back in the village. Mama, I'm in trouble, she said, her voice trembling. Ade found out about the house. Days turned into weeks. A month passed, and Ijeoma hadn't seen or heard from Ade, though she tried reaching him numerous times. She missed him terribly, and the children constantly asked when their father would come home. Finally, he returned, but he was colder than ever. Ijeoma, I've come to collect what you owe me, he said firmly. You made me pay rent on your house from day one. That adds up to 32.2 million. I want every penny back. His request shocked Ijeoma, but she accepted, determined to make things right. She agreed to pay him back, even if it meant selling assets. Over the next few weeks, she gathered the money and paid him the full amount. But despite her efforts, Ade remained distant. 2 weeks later, Ade returned to pack his belongings in their bedroom. He turned to her. "Get a lawyer," he said coldly. "I don't see a future here anymore. You broke the trust I had in you. I can't continue like this." He rolled his suitcase out to the car, leaving Ijeoma sobbing, clinging to his legs, pleading for forgiveness. But Ade pulled away and she watched as he drove off. Months passed, and Ijeoma's life revolved around her twins and her business. She sought counseling, reflecting deeply on the choices that had led her here. In time, she tried to reach out to Ade, hoping to find forgiveness and restore their relationship for the children's sake. However, his response was firm and finally a painful reminder that some mistakes have irreversible consequences. Though they eventually developed a cordial relationship for co-parenting, the love they had once shared was lost. The thriving fabric business continued to grow, but Ijeoma felt hollow. No amount of success could ever replace the trusts and partnership she had broken, and she carried the weight of the loss as a lesson etched into her heart. My beautiful people, I would like us to discuss this. Was Ijeoma totally wrong for her decision? Where did she get it wrong? How about Ade? What would you say about Ade's decision? If you actually watch this story from the beginning to this point, I would like to hear your own view about Ijeoma and Ade. The morals I learned from the story. Transparency in marriage is essential. Keeping secrets, especially about finances and major life decisions, can be devastating. Trust in marriage is fragile and requires both partners to be open and honest with each other. Appreciate and acknowledge your partner. Whatever is the contribution your partner is giving, appreciate it. If someone has invested time, money, and love into supporting your dreams, respect that investment. Over time, feelings of being taken advantage of can erode love and commitment. Financial independence should not mean secrecy. While it is healthy to have financial independence, it should not involve hiding assets or major decisions from a spouse. Transparency and shared goals strengthen partnership. Actions have consequences. A seemingly harmless decision, like keeping certain assets private, can have unforeseen impacts on the trust and harmony in a marriage. It's essential to consider how actions might affect a relationship in the long term. Rebuilding trust is difficult and sometimes impossible. Once broken, trust is one of the hardest things to rebuild in a relationship. It may take years or it may never return, reminding us to prioritize it above short-term gain. I ask again, what would you do if you were in Ade's shoes? Was Ade fair with his decision of getting his money back? Would you have forgiven Ijeoma and continue with the marriage? Comments are welcome below. Thank you for watching my story. Please share with me what you learned from the story and what you enjoy most in the story. This is African Tales by Ewa. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do so. Like, comment, and share with your loved ones. I appreciate time spent. I do not take your support for granted until I come your way again with another interesting and educating story. Bye for now.